Hello, welcome to the When I Have Spare Time podcast. My name is Frank, and I'll be sitting here talking to you for a few minutes. As usual, I'm wearing clothes, wearing a Power Girl shirt, my favorite DC comic character. And she's my favorite character because she's hot. She has a smoking body, nice rack. That's why I like her. She's a woman that looks like a woman. Anyway, I was in the store the other day. I was in Big Lots. Um, I was following a woman. She was a 5'10" blonde, wearing yoga pants and a jogging jacket. I was following her around the store. Maybe I followed her from outside the store into the store. That's none of your business. But she was hot. And the reason why she was hot because she was in shape. Apparently, I like women who are in shape, meaning the opposite of fat. That's right. Body positivity. Body positivity means you take care of your body. So you're positive about your body. So you look good. It means you're skinny, you're fit. It means you want to live longer. Body negativity, that's where the fat people come in. That's where you praise someone for being out of shape. That's body negativity. But anyway, I noticed something inside the store. I was walking by the I was walking around and I passed an aisle where they were selling like sports attire. And so there was this Japanese woman, roughly 5 feet tall. She's older. I don't know how old, but just older, like 60, I guess. She's crouching down and she's stealing, she's shoplifting. She's putting clothes into her bag under like a Target bag, I guess. Like she had a bag and then she was putting clothes under a Target bag inside her purse. It's not that hard to explain, Frank. Anyway, I was standing right next to her. She wasn't trying to hide the fact that she was stealing. And, I don't care that she was stealing. But I do like the fact that she was taking advantage of her being Asian. Like being an Asian elderly woman, no one is going to suspect you of shoplifting. No one's gonna like when you walk into the store, like they're not gonna send security to tail you. So I want to commend this woman on her intelligence. You know. Um, Now I remember back when God, it was a long time ago. I was dating this high school chick. Her name was um Maddie Mandolin Maddie Gazzo. We met on Plenty of Fish. We were a match. Anyway, we were boyfriend girlfriend for a while. Anyway, high school chick. She's really hot. Um, as a man of culture, if you're a man of culture, you would have liked Maddie. Her nickname was Billy. I don't know why. I never called her Billy. I thought that name was stupid. Anyway, the point is, she was white, and we would go shoplifting all the time. Like we would we would go to the store, and she would. I remember one time we went to a bunch of different stores, and she stole over $200 worth of stuff. We went to like 5 or 6 stores, and she just kept stealing. And you know why she can get away with it? Because she was white. She was a white teenage girl with like funky dyed hair, just looked like your average, emo teen. Usually emo teens like that usually come from well-off families. So like no one's gonna send someone after her and follow her around. But they did send people to follow me around. So like I would stand at the opposite side of the store that she was on, and I was getting all the attention. And I remember when we first did this, she would go, "Hey, like you go stand over there, and I'll go over here and steal stuff." I'm like, "Okay, sure." Worked every time. I couldn't tell you how many times I went quote unquote shopping with her, but every time I went shopping with her, she stole something, and every time I stood like we were walking together, and I would just go on the opposite side that she was at. It worked every time. She never got caught. Stole. I don't just I. you know, at least over $1,000 worth of stuff, because it was like $200 that one time, but it would happen several times. So it'd be like $50 there, $100 there. It was over $1,000 during our relationship. Um, so and I don't blame Maddie for doing that because hey, she's just taking advantage of society. Like don't hate the player, hate the game. Now, if Maddie was black or if that cute Asian lady was whatever Mexican, they probably wouldn't have been stealing like that because that's who you tail. If she was like a 6 year old Mexican lady, I'd tail her because she probably has seven grandkids and four offspring living at her house. So she's got to steal. When you got 20 people living at your house, you're gonna end up stealing. It's just how it is. You know. So I'm not definitely not mad, and I want to commend this woman's intelligence. And it helps that she was like 5 feet tall. Like no one's gonna think like a little old, Japanese lady's gonna be stealing. No one's gonna be thinking that. And even if someone like me, a customer sees her, you're not gonna tell on her. It's like it's a cute little Japanese lady. You know, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. But anyway, I digress. So apparently, we find out that the shooting at that school yesterday was on purpose. Now, I know what you're saying. Well, of course, the guy went there. No, but I mean, they let it happen. Apparently, the police uh, stood outside for an hour as the guy was still locked inside the classroom. Yeah, so the guy confronted whatever an officer outside. Somehow, they let him go into the school. He went through the back and barricaded himself inside of a classroom. Now the police know he's barricaded inside a classroom. Okay, an hour goes by. Okay. Now, during this hour of him being locked in the classroom with all the students, he kills everyone. He had an hour. The police knew where he was. The police heard the gunshots. They let it happen. Now, why would they let it happen? Well, obviously for political reasons. It's another false flag operation. I mean, this should be the biggest news story ever, but because the left controls most of the mainstream media, it doesn't get the news coverage it should get. But once again, the police knew where he was, knew he was locked in a classroom with the teachers and the students, obviously heard the gunshots, all that stuff. They let him stay in that classroom with all those victims for an hour before they did anything. They wanted this to happen. I mean, how many false flag operations have we seen America take part in? A lot. It's a lot. It's weapons of mass destruction. That was a nice one. I think that's the most famous example. 9/11's one. You know, anytime that there's a crazy terrorist attack, mass shooting, whatever, and the FBI says, "Oh, he was on our list," it means they knew it was going to happen, and they want it to happen because you get people emotional. You know, you get people, politicians. I'm gonna make this bill happen to ban everything sharp in America because someone fell and stabbed their leg with some scissors. The emotional responses trump intelligence. You can get the most smartest person in the room, which is usually me. You can take the smartest person in the world, whatever, Einstein. And if you have Einstein make decisions based on emotion, it's gonna be a bad decision. That's why they that's why they want these tragedies to happen. Because you'll get voters who will vote a certain way based on emotion instead of like logic. You've heard this before. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. Well, that's true. Um, the gun he had was legal. It's like they always try to throw in some illegal stuff with like the weapons. Everything about the gun was legal. How the gun was used, illegal. It's that simple. Passing more laws, not gonna change a thing. The bad guys are bad guys for a reason. The bad guys don't care about laws. When is the last time a bad guy, a criminal, was committing a crime like, oh shit, I better stop, I'm breaking the law? When was the last time a mass shooter was shooting people? Was like, oh shit, I better stop. This is against the law. I should stop shooting people. Laws don't fix anything. They're trying to pass some fake story saying that the school shooter guy was bullied and tormented. That's not true. That what's his name, like Salvador Ramos, I think. I think. Wait, what's his name? What's that guy's name? Yeah, Salvador Ramos. He wasn't bullied. He was a bully. He would always try to start fights. He was, a jerk, a dick, whatever. He was also he was also like an animal abuser. So I don't know where this narrative came from that he was bullied at school when you have people who went to school with him and knew him come out and say, no, that's not true. He was never bullied. He was actually the one trying to start fights, actually the one picking on people. He was killing animals. So I don't know, the media keeps doing stuff to alter the truth. Well, because obviously the media is not about the truth. You have to go to independent news sources, people. If you want to get the truth, you have to do your own research. Your own research. If you don't do your own research, you're at the mercy of who's ever telling you what's going on. I don't believe a word I hear from CNN, that's for sure. Don't believe a word. I don't believe a word that I hear from MSNBC. I don't believe a word from any any presidential press secretary. Don't the only thing that person does, him or she, whatever, lies. Um, you just gotta do your own research. And they have independent, sources. I mean, like there are plenty of independent sources that just tell the news, but see, those are the ones that aren't popular, and those are the ones that get suppressed. And if you keep track of the trends, there's a lot of independent news sources that are more popular, or get more views or whatever than the mainstream sources. So it's people are wising up to what's going on, which is good. I mean, but I think, oh yeah, and I saw a video with my own two eyes of parents going down to the school and the cops preventing them from going into the school as the guy shot more kids. Parents demanding that the cops go in there and stop this. The cops are like, no. It's ridiculous. They wanted this to happen. Now, I'm wondering, why no one, because this always happens, why no one's played the race card and go, well, if it was a school of white elementary school kids, they would have gone in instantly. I don't know if that's true. I think I think they would have gave the guy 2 hours, because that's more tragic. That's a bigger news story. Anyway, it's sad that all of these events that happen are 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 forced or enhanced to promote a political view. You don't need a tragedy to promote your litigation. If you just actually have good, like a laid out plan, and explain, what this will do and why it'll benefit society, that's much better because you're using logic than trying to have a forced massacre of children to try to get your anti-gun bills passed. The reason why they want to take away people's guns is because if the people are unarmed, the government can really walk all over you. That's the bottom line. Trust me, if the U.S. population didn't have guns, we would be enslaved to the government. The government would be doing some crazy, like, you think the government is bad now. Imagine if, like, because like half the American population's armed. Imagine if, like, no one was armed, and you see how corrupt our government is. It'd be, oh boy, it'd be a lot worse. And remember, there's so many guns out there. If you took away everyone's guns, guess who's gonna have guns? The bad guys, the criminals. And guess who's not gonna have guns? The good citizens who needed to protect themselves. And it's obvious that if you look at the crime rates are a record high. So it's pretty obvious that the government doesn't care about the crime rate, because if they did, the crime rate wouldn't be like this. Democrats are just, well, I'm sorry. The blue states have the highest crime rates. Red states, well, don't. I don't know. Like, I think that stat alone, the crime stat, would make me want to vote anything but Democrat. For some reason, Democrat-run cities, they just, like, arrest a criminal, let them out the same day. Arrest a criminal, let them out the same day. Sentence someone as probation. They want the crime. They want you to live in fear. Got some evil people in government right now. It's on both sides, but apparently it seems the blue states are the one that are going through the massive crime rates, though. And I don't know who's in charge of the police that were holding back the parents from wanting to save their kids and just letting the guy commit the mass shooting, but they're under orders from someone, obviously. But someone who, told them to make sure that this happens. And I wouldn't be surprised if it went up to Washington. I don't think it's a conspiracy theory when it's just, right in your face. And then some of the cops had children that went to the school. Those cops went inside the school and got their kids out. But the average citizen, no. You gotta wait here and listen to your kids get shot. Anyway, I've said enough. I'll talk to you later. Peace.